Welcome to
Meaningful Conversations. I'm Senzegile.
I am Lele Zile. Okay, my name is Lele. So welcome to Meaningful Conversations. We'd like to thank you for watching, for the comments, and for subscribing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. We appreciate you wanting to come and converse with us. And yeah, you're so welcome.
Thank you.
We're recapping
Yeah.
on our last video, which was on perceptions.
Yeah.
And we got some really insightful comments on perceptions. Thank you so much.
I reflected on it.
Yeah, thank you so much for
It's been
that.
awesome.
And now for this week's topic.
For this week's topic. No English. I was just thinking about freedom. I was thinking about how I feel free of late. Like I have been feeling very free as a person. And it has been something it was not there. It's something, it's an experience for me that is very sweet to have. And the reason why I know that it is, I'm in a space of freedom is because I'm not bothered. I couldn't be bothered by what everybody else is doing. There's a freedom of being on your path and doing life the way you were created to do it, and there's a freedom about that. And so it made me think about that. What is everybody's game view on what freedom is? Because for enough freedom has been being able to do life as who I was created to be. And it takes away all the clutter and all the noise and the distractions where you are trying to fit in, trying to do this and that, trying to hustle, trying to, there's so many things, there's so much clutter, there's so much distractions. But it does not necessarily mean that you are still not doing life and you are not on a path. But the beauty of it is that you are on your own path. So that has been my freedom. And for you, my friend?
Freedom for me, as we were chatting, as we were talking, I thought it means I'm not forced to conform, actually. I feel like we, in this age of social media, and everybody's life is out there, and obviously before we shot this video we didn't look like this, and but when you see people on social media, they're all made up and their lives are so nice and glamorous. So for me, freedom means not being myself and not feeling the need to conform. If I decide that I don't want to go this way, I want to go this way, I have the freedom to do that. I have the freedom to choose how I want to. Yes, it's been decided who I want to be, but I have the freedom to choose how to express myself. I have the freedom to choose my truth, which is the Bible. My truth is the Bible. And we were talking about that earlier, or how the Bible itself says, the truth will set you free.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that has set me free a great deal. It has set me free a great deal. There's certain things that I was thinking about, and be like, hey, this doesn't make sense. And it set me free, first of all, to choose that's my truth, number one, because you don't want to be scattered in terms of what are your principles, what are your values, So first of all, it set me free in that. It set me free on its own in terms of the truth that I'm reading, that I'm not influenced by how much money I make. That doesn't make me feel valuable. I'm valuable already because I was created in the image of the Most High. And that on its own
Shout
is
out
such
to Father God.
Yeah. That on its own is a lot, is a great deal.
Yeah.
So for me, freedom is that. Freedom is that when I look for validation, I know where to go. When I look for my identity, I know where to go. When I look for love, I know where to go. So basically that's that. That's my freedom.
Which leads me to my next question. We hear people talking about the fact that don't be a copycat, don't copy others. The only way you can enjoy life is to really be you. But for me, the struggle that I've had was, how does that look like? How am I supposed to go against the norms that you are being taught to follow? Do you know what I mean? Like, you are told, don't copy, but everything around you is like, if you do not copy us, then hey man, we don't recognize you. And it's like, how do you break from that? What does it look like?
Yeah, that's a true question. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I think because we've been created in the image of our Father, I feel that He's planted some of the truths within. So, for instance, if I am choosing to be a copycat, I will know. The first person who will know is me. And when I'm choosing to be myself, I will know. So I think that before you are supposed to be a blessing to others, before other people, you're supposed to bless others with your talent, your personality, your character. You're supposed to be able to be that, to bless yourself with yourself, type of thing, if that makes sense. You know? So I don't know. I think because I know the times when I wasn't trying to transform myself to be like, to exist within a group of people and feel like I belong. And did things that didn't feel comfortable with me, or were not true to who I was. And I know the times when I was true to who I was, even though I stood the chance of being rejected for myself, because there's that thing of, if I'm myself, they might reject me. If I'm a copycat, I'm whatever, but
if I conform, basically, then people accept you better.
If I conform, they will accept me better. So, but I feel like there's that thing, man, when you feel alright, you are not being yourself. I could be wrong. You can tell me.
So for now, what I've realized is that I have been a bit of a rebellion in most cases. And for me, the reason why, at the time that when I was, being rebellious, it was because of the fact that, but this is what I'm feeling. Like, this is what I'm feeling, and it is very frustrating to conform, because conforming is not being you. But at the same time, I'm grateful to have had that experience, because then this is much more sweeter for me. Because I can appreciate this for what it is. There was a certain time when I had placed myself in a place where I was conforming. And the sad thing is that I was conforming in church. But that is a topic for another day. Which kind of is sad, because that is where you are supposed to find truth. But which also just leads to the space where we found ourselves spiritually, where you realize, you are responsible for your journey. And you are therefore responsible for your journey with God. And a relationship with Him is only cultivated when you also do the reaching into what the tools that He's already presented before you. So what you said, Hore, you found that freedom in the Bible, in His Word. And for me as well, it's a journey that really started intensifying and getting sweeter when I started going to the Word and started reading it from a space of, I guess, hunger and thirst. Hunger and thirst. I'm reminded of the scripture that also says that those who are brokenhearted, God is close to those who are brokenhearted. There is a place that is innate where God is able to get to when we are very vulnerable and very sensitive to the touch. Because when you're broken, you're very sensitive to the touch. Everything about you is just, it's like it's like you've just been burned and your whole being is just sensitive, and it's amazing that with those groans, that the Holy Spirit is able to get it's like we get the wavelength, into your communication.
Because
that frequency, that frequency. It's like we are align the frequency, and it's in the brokenness that I was able to get my freedom.
Yeah,
it's in the brokenness that I was able to get the freedom. Now I look at that brokenness and I'm like, thank you so much, because it's in that brokenness that I was able to be redirected into the person I was created to be. The freedom began, and the freedom makes life. I remember after that, then I started looking at life from a place of, it's zero, but I like it. It's the kind of zero that I'm comfortable with. It's zero, and it's not totally laid out, and it does not totally make sense. But I like this zero. It's comfortable for me.
And I like how when you are comfortable with yourself, I think it also helps people to be comfortable around you. And because you won't be trying to figure a person out, because I feel like we are energies. We're created as energies, and the more when you're comfortable, it's like when you come into a comfortable, warm home, you feel comfortable.
That energy.
Yes. And even with human beings, when you're around a person who is comfortable, you become comfortable as well. And I feel like with me, a lot of times when I speak to people, I feel comfortable telling me really personal stuff. And I used to be like, I just met you.
Hold on, what's happening?
And not that, like, I like listening.
Yeah.
But I would be like, I wonder, I'm also curious, so I will
ask questions.
Like, I wonder why that person opened up, So yeah, I really like that part when you're saying, being comfortable with ourselves and stuff. And reflections, it's important as well to reflect.
It's very important because it's the reflections. I feel like we have different words that we use for the same thing. There's meditation, there's self-reflection, and the Bible actually does touch on the fact that you need to meditate on the word in itself. He does the work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So meditating on the word reveals truths, and the beauty of it, and this is what I realize, is that God is interested in me. There's that, when I would pray at times, I'm like, God, so and so hurt me, and then He's like, shh, okay, let's just focus on you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this, though? And the journey is a journey of an individual with God, and that is what the journey is, from the beginning of it to the end of it. And that is what I've realized with myself, and it actually it reminds me of the scripture. Or when Jesus makes that parable, Jesus, where He says that, no, do not be focusing on the speck in your brother's eye. Meanwhile, when you've got this log that is in your own eye, And what I have noticed, that there is always being pulled back to say, no, do not be all over the place. First things first, let's focus on you. And that is where that is what freedom taught me. Because the more I can be groomed and cultivated, the more I can exist as how God created me to exist, to do the work that He existed me to do. Do you see what I'm saying? So
she does poetry though.
I do some writing, yeah. So the more I do that, the more freedom I have, the more joy I have in existing. Because I'm existing as how He created me to exist, to do the things He created me to do. And those things do not come from money or accolades.
Yeah.
You exist to do them, and they are not dependent on anything else but Him. So yeah,
Sure.
that is the freedom. That is the freedom, and it's intense, and it's sweet, and it's beautiful, and you desire it, or you desire that everyone experience it. For me, and this relationship has allowed me that. So yeah,
That is so sweet, my friend. Yeah, Lina, I've grown so much through this relationship, and and also like reflecting on what you're saying. Earlier on we were talking about how important it is to reflect, because reflection is part of self-love and self-care. Or a lot of times when we fall in love, it's when you give me the good side of you, I give you the good side of me. I'm always smiling when I see you, smiling when you see me, da 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 da. And it's almost like you want the person to see that goodness and to say, you see, those people who didn't think you were good were wrong. I'm here to tell you that. And you're very good. You're perfect, in fact. And then Luena, you are there to also validate that. No, you're good. What? Your family says what about you? And they haven't seen that side, Shem. That I have seen. When now you are close to perfection, and self-reflection is something. It's a job that you do for yourself, so that you don't put somebody in a position to validate you in the near future when you're in a relationship. That you are basically saying, when you are there and reflecting, like, yo, these are my weaknesses, and what can I do to grow, sometimes you have good relationships and you're like, yo, my friend, I've noticed this about myself. What do you think? What do you and you go to the word and you're like, yo, the word will give you the truth. If you're looking for the truth,
you go find it.
You go find it in the word.
Yes.
So we were talking earlier on that it's like in a marriage you're gonna find weaknesses. Okay, we were saying relationships, but I was like, I don't know what's happening relationships lately. So I'm just gonna be safe and say marriage or a committed relationship, where you are supposed to be there for life, and where you can't run away. So now you sitting there, you realize, struggle depression. You cannot run away. You have to find a way to make it work. They can't be afraid to now be fully depressed, as if you can help it.
I'll be depressed.
You can't do that. So you find you're trying to hide your weaknesses, and then Baba, you are a little bit of a mess.
But you know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, some of the weaknesses, they come out, and I think even in relationships you have known about them.
Yeah.
But it's exactly the stuff you are like closing in the cupboards. I was like, but now you are around this person all the time and they fall out. At first, you also look at it like, hey, what is this? You're the one who was shoving it in the cupboard. But you know what's funny? Then you get so very much offended. Like, how come you can sit by it? And you're like, Marlon, it's not that bad.
When you were hiding yours.
And I guess that is why it is important that you are whole and the other person is whole. And the truth is that it's not just for like committed relationships or marriages or
Yeah.
whatever. It's in friendships as well.
Friendships,
I
yeah.
think a good quality type of friendship is a friendship where the one person is whole and the other is whole, and you're constantly just grooming each other and nurturing
Iron
each other.
sharpens iron.
Yeah, and then you keep on growing. You know, and then it just it's sweet when it is like that. You know, so yeah, with us having said that,
Yeah.
what we'd like the question that we'd like to pose to you guys is what is freedom for you?
What is freedom for you? And are your relationships? Do you have a relationship where you can be honest, absolutely honest about your weaknesses, or do you hide them and chuck them, in the cupboard
And hope no one opens. Yeah.
just let us know. You
Yeah.
know, in your friendships, your
Whether it's
siblings,
yeah.
marriage, dating. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah,
We're
please let
interested.
us know. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
It's
I
been
feel
real,
like
man.
talking and on and on and on. We will be continuing we feel like those programs got to be like, we'll continue this on the other platform. Okay, so we
We'll
don't have
continue
that.
it on the comment section.
Okay, we'll continue it on the comment section. So please, guys, do comment, subscribe, like, hit the notify button. We're getting into this thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you
Again next week.
next week.
Thank you, folks. It's
Have
been
an
real,
awesome week.
meaningful conversations.
Mhm.
Lele, Senzi, and we are
Out.